Hey guys, Graham here, therecordingrevolution.com, still in Starbucks, day number 3, mixing an EP on headphones, on my laptop, in Reason, people making espressos right down the hall from me, and it's very loud, and they're blasting Christmas music while I'm doing this. So, pretty much the worst environment to mix them, and yet we're getting some really cool results. I'm excited to share them with you. Today I want to show you how to mix vocals to cut, get vocals that cut through your mix, which is what we're always trying to do. Pop music, rock music, country, hip-hop, you name it, the vocals are important, and usually we're using compressors to get that vocal contained, get it to stick out front. One of my favorite techniques is to stack vocal compressors. I've done a lot of videos on that. You can go check those out. Another way to get vocals to cut through is to take, again, the same old school process we did on the previous video, using parallel techniques with EQ and that kind of stuff on the drums, apply it to vocals, right? So a parallel technique is where you can keep the original vocal the same and then just squeeze the life out of the second vocal, a copy of it, blend the two together and get a really unique sound. And in this case, using a lot of heavy compression on a copy of the lead vocal helps the words enunciate, helps all the ends of the words cut through and not get swallowed up, which is how we in our ears perceive vocals, especially on small speakers, laptop speakers, phone speakers, sort of consumer grade places where people might be listening to your songs. It's very important that the vocals cut through nicely, and this technique will help you do that. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. So right now I've got a lead vocal kind of EQ'd and slightly compressed at this part of the song.
There was a man who wandered the earth, calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts, saying I've come bearing good news.
Yeah, totally fine, but to get every word to cut through, here's what we want to do. I want to basically take a copy of it and compress it. Now, I'm going to do this the first way in one plugin, just because Reason happens to have a really cool compressor called the Pulverizer, which has a wet and dry knob. Now, you might have a compressor that does this. Studio One, I think, has a compressor that has wet and dry knobs. A lot of manufacturers are putting that blend type of knob on a compressor. And why is this cool? This is cool because what we can do is squash and affect the sound through the compressor and then dial back that setting to like 50%, which means it's going to blend the natural input to the compressor, which is the unaffected vocal, and then you'll hear 50% of the compressed vocal. So what I've got is something that's super squashed here. Take a listen to the vocal by itself now with this compressor.
There was a man who wandered the earth, calling.
Right, I've got it squashed. And again, this doesn't have any typical settings like a typical compressor, but you just crank the squash knob. It also has a distortion unit on it, which is cool. I'll show you how to do this without this in a minute. It adds some harmonics that make the compressed vocal kind of cut through also, frequency-wise, tone-wise. So that's what it sounds like, totally squashed.
There was a man who wandered the earth, calling.
A lot of breath, ends of the words, right?
Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts.
Right, you get all that aggression, and then what I can do is I can blend back down like 50%, and what I will get is half natural, half compressed.
There was a man who wandered the earth, calling. Calling out for all the bruised.
Listen to it in the mix, that's where it matters. It's very, very cool. I'm going to press play. You're going to hear the half natural, half overly compressed, and then I'm going to go down here to the left where there's a bypass button. I'm going to turn off the compressor, which basically means you're going to hear just the natural vocals. You hear the natural and then the vocal and compressed vocal all at once. You can hear the difference, the way it was and the way it is better now, cut through the mix. Here we go.
There was a man who wandered the earth, calling out for all the bruised and broken.
Listen to that, calling out for all the bruised and broken. All right, let's get the vocal here.
Calling out
compressed.
Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised.
Here how it just cuts out way more in the mix. Like you can hear it. You can hear every part of the word bruised. And when I go down in pitch, you hear everything. So it's super helpful because it still sounds natural, but it cuts through and you perceive the vocal consistently. That's what you want to be doing in a pop rock, country, hip hop mix where you got to get it out there but not sound like you totally killed the life out of it. It's because it's really one's natural and one's compressed. If you don't have a compressor that has a blend knob, wet or dry knob, just do it on a separate track, on a parallel track. So we'll bypass the compressor and we'll just create a parallel channel. So we have two vocals, one that's natural.
Calling out for all the bruised and broken.
Right? And then so now we have a copy.
Calling out for all the bruised.
What we'll do here is choose a compressor up top.
Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts.
There's that heavily compressed sound. And look what all I did. If you can't see, all I did was just bring the threshold way, way down. The ratio super high. It's super fast release. And then I needed more signal, so I put more signal into the compressor so it really squashes it. And then what I'm going to do to kind of replicate the distortion channels, I'm going to clean up some of the low mids and I'm going to add some upper mids with EQ.
Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised and broken heart.
It's a little crispier, okay? Heavily compressed, a little crispier. That's the parallel channel. Natural channel.
Calling out for all the bruised.
Crispy channel.
Calling out for all the bruised.
Right, so let's just blend those together. It's on its own separate fader. We bring it in.
And broken. Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised.
All right, so now we'll loop it, and I'll basically take off the parallel channel.
Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised and broken hearts. Calling out for all the bruised and broken.
Right? It just allows you to have way more clarity and allows the vocal to cut through without squashing the life out of your natural vocal. So getting vocals to cut is a simple process of using parallel processing. Don't affect the original too much. Do something natural there, but if you need more, why not make a copy of it? Or if you have a compressor that has a wet dry knob, then you can really squash it and then back it off 50% or whatever percentage you like. So I hope that helps. You can apply that to anything. This works extremely well on rap vocals. So if you do any kind of rap, to get all those words to enunciate and all those words to cut through in every syllable, and it's very important, especially with the rhythmic element to it, get a copy of it and squash everything out of it. Get a little bit of grit to that second channel, maybe with some EQ, maybe with some saturation, and bring that up alongside the original, and you can get a lot more of that rap to cut through everything else going on in the mix. So it works all over the place. Very simple technique. We're taking the same parallel processing and applying it to vocals. Hope that helps. Graham here from the Recording Revolution. compressor.com. Subscribe to the videos if you like them. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think if you've used this in your mixes and if it's helping you. I got to get back to finishing this EP. Can't wait to share it with you guys. Thanks for all the support. See you guys soon.